Hello, and welcome back to episode 45 of Rule the Waves 2 German Brawlers, where we come back to October 1943. We have been at war for almost 4 years. The strain is showing in Italy and France. We only have an unrest level of 4. Things are going pretty well, and as you saw, I was looking at our ships under construction. I had somebody point out that I have yet to build any 16-inch armed capital ships. That's on purpose, but we can't really measure the true effectiveness of a 14-inch armed battleship or battlecruiser compared to a 16-inch unless we have both. So I think we're going to do, as soon as these 4 Lutzows get out, I don't care about the 5th one. That one can continue building, but this will be our budget, and I'm going to try to design a 16-inch battleship or battlecruiser next. Maybe in this episode, maybe next one. We'll see. That's the intention. I kind of really want to fell into a lull where I was just kind of responding to the war, and I've kind of lost sight of my strategic objectives and what I hope to actually accomplish with this playthrough. So that's going to be the focus this episode. On that, we are going to continue doing what we've been responding to this whole time, and forcing the Mediterranean, trying to take back Libya, because it's really the Italian air bases in this area, not being able to contest the airspace is absolutely brutal. We cannot operate here, and that's why I've been declining a lot of those battles. So with that, let's generate another turn. Yes, France dominating. Oh, fire control radar at last. Even better. Which is more of a reason to use a larger, slower firing caliber with fewer actual guns. We have fire control that's so good now that we don't need quantity anymore. So this may be actually a good point to switch over. USA has stolen technology. I don't want to lose the prestige, and it really doesn't matter if they get slightly upset. Small ships doing their thing. Friendly merchants sunk a lot. Enemy submarines sunk a lot. Convoy attack, no thank you. That's off Tunisia. Coastal raid, large. We'd have our if there's too much French forces there, I'm going to have to decline. Convoy attack, medium. Got a couple light cruisers, couple carriers, and our destroyers. I'll accept that. If we see their aircraft, it's going to be brutal. So we have destroyers. Said we had support from the British, and I'm not seeing that. So we have 2 destroyers. Get right into it. It is dawn. Unknown ships sighted. Radar did not find them first. Come up to max speed. They're coming straight at us, turning away. That, I assume, is the main force. Battleships with our destroyers. You know what? Okay, it's a heavy cruiser, not a battleship. We will close in. Condor is wounded. We'll keep maneuvering. Try to get our torpedoes off. Set the divisional attack. I don't know if this actually encourages them to launch torpedoes or not, but that's what I want. Want them to launch torpedoes. We're going to change course every round. We're severely outgunned, but it's a pair of destroyers. It doesn't really matter that much. There's one torpedo spread. Try to close in again. dive in a little further. There we got one destroyer with a torpedo. You know, we're launching torpedoes at them. Leopard taking another round. We can launch another torpedo. One. They're turning dead away though. What are we at? 32 knots max speed. Turret destroyed. Torpedo tubes hit. I'm going to turn away and we're going to see what happens now. Okay, quick engagement. I don't mind disengaging at this point. Supposed to sink a couple transports, but I don't know how realistic that is. Ooh, we do not want to head out east. I thought we were up here, not out in the Bay of Biscay. That's actually French air. Drop to 28 knots. Allow the Condor to catch up. Accelerate time. Sighting over here. One destroyer. Got a couple subs off of Priest. And we did sink that destroyer. Says France had a marginal victory. I assume because our ships are bigger. No, it's because we failed to take out transports, so they got the bonus. Gave them a victory. Dardo, one torpedo hit, one permanent flooding. Took her out. Condor took 4 medium hits. About 20% flotation damage. 2 medium hits. Like, barely scratched. Took out one turret. Alrighty. I'm going to call that a win. I know the game doesn't. I don't really care what the game thinks. Because it's setting us up for how this will proceed as we continue on. What are our other ones? We have that one finished up, and then the Leopard and the Condor engaged in the battle and are injured. Everyone else is working up. I suppose the Goibin should head to Northern Europe. For her trade protection. Send the Braunschweig and leave the 2 Schwabens in Mediterranean. I think we'll do that. I want to get maximum involvement. Ooh. Yeah, if the Italians are not very heavily there, I think we do want to cancel. Every time I want to do this, I mess it up. Cancel ordered move. Northern Europe, cancel. Cancel. Please. Pretty please. There we go. Okay, it worked. Set them on trade protection. But they'll stay here where they can contribute to the strategic score to see if we can get some transports into Libya. Especially now that the invasion of Rhodes has failed for the Italians for the second time. And with France in control of Northern Europe, maybe we should switch our subs to prize rules. France dominating. Invasion delayed due to weather. Better fire control. Couple of Lutzows finishing. Not a bad light cruiser. 12 6-inches. Alrighty. Enemy merchant sunk 15. Okay. We definitely need our subs on prize rules at this point. I did not see what this battle entailed. So they will 2 battle cruisers hanging out behind our destroyers. Just silly. Speed things up. Don't really want to head in. Especially since this morning we're likely to see multiple air attacks. Okay, supposedly we're seeing a heavy cruiser with destroyer escorts. British battlecruiser should have 16-inch guns, which they do. Should maneuver with our allies in mind. We want to keep them out of torpedo attacks, especially as they are not as well protected as our own. Yeah, the Drake's avoiding torpedoes right now. Good thing we maneuvered. Just continue to pursue the enemy. And I do not mind peeling away. Do a zigzag because that Espingole had a good torpedo solution for a couple turns. And we will let them drift away. Because we don't want to get too close to Brest. Alright, they're down to radar range. We will head north towards British air control. Weather causing limitations. Close in then. And they all retreated into their base. About what was expected. Right, ships in service. There are 2 Lutzows finishing up. And then we have our working up destroyers. We will again try to transfer to the Mediterranean. And then we do want to get on that design. Could do an all forward. I'm not a fan of that, but there's certainly something to be said for it. We'll try triples to start. Let's be ambitious. Do want an air capacity of 2's fine, actually. We need a seaplane hangar. It's fine. And we put it forward center line. That's too far forward. Forward center line, just under the bridge. To That's right, we have the auto loaders for the 6-inch, making them kind of deadly. Tracked the 3-inch legal mount designation, so we can't do that. Midships doesn't make sense. Well, I guess we will leave it in the R mount. Unless put it there, kind of like a Congo class. Definitely want that torpedo defense. We certainly use it frequently. That's a lot of tonnage. We'll see if we can get 32. I know some people are absolutely against it. Don't care. I like having torpedoes, especially since we get very close with our ships. Max that out later. No tertiaries. Do want additional rounds. Who seem to go through a lot. I feel like every battle we're limited on ammo. And then immunity zone, which we actually have an immunity zone with 12 inches of armor. Shocking. We like to be close. (35 to 24 being the danger zone as we close in for the deck. Definitely want the conning tower maxed. We want the turrets maxed. Maybe not maxed that much. That's kind of excessive. Maybe 24? 8? Splinter shields for the 6-inch. We switch the 6-inch to triples. I think I'm being overly ambitious here. We don't want an inclined belt. We do not want a magazine box. Going straight up to the top. And judging by the weight we have already, this is not going to fit on a 71,000 ton frame. So where to make the sacrifices? We have way too much armor. 38% is too much. 8,000 tons in ammo. I'm probably not going to remove. Go for 24, that's 1,000 tons, that's 800. Really not that many. We can't. We need duals if we're going to do dual purpose and autoloaders. So wow, even 16 is a lot. Probably 12 guns, 6 per side. I think that's limited, but we have autoloaders. That should help out. We'll drop to 7 inches on the turret top. Drop to maybe 23 for the turret face. We'll reduce some of the armor. And deck 5 inches I would like to keep. We don't lose 2,000 yards if we drop to 4. And if we drop to 16, down to 7,800. How's the engine? Machinery weight's only 7,500 tons for something this size to get it moving up to 32 knots. Magazine box is not a terrible way to go. Now that I'm thinking about it, we get in close. That just protects the magazine, prevents a detonation, which we've had 1 or 2 detonations from close in magazine recently. Had more in the overall series, I think. We could lose a turret. Let's get rid of the second one. Alright, that gets it down to a reasonable level. We can tweak to get this. Don't want a narrow belt. What about something a little different? Now some people are going to be losing their minds because they're like, why would you use such an ancient technique? Because we're getting in close. It's essentially turtleback armor. It's good for close-in combat. And as you've seen, we're actually fighting our fights at very close ranges. Don't really want to sacrifice too much deck armor, though. Absolutely brutal. I wonder, should we do 2 quads? Thing is, we have a limitation on casualties. We lose a turret, and that's half of our firepower. Alternatively, we could squeeze down to 2 guns each. Do we keep the aft center line if we do that? Not really. Keep the lower guns and have a total of 8 guns, but in 3 turrets rather than 2. I don't like it. Dropped 22 and 6. Yeah, the turrets really aren't a lot of the weight. And if we're going to do turtleback armor, we need at least splinter protection, because that matters then. Maybe we do the quads then. Our 8 barrels. Alright, we're not going to do the turtleback. I'd like to experiment with it. How much would another knot of speed? 33 knots. $22,000 yards. Bring it in. Go to 3.5. Bump this up to 17.5. Gets us an immunity zone from the 11 to 21,000. That's optimal conditions. Clearly, there are going to be shots that penetrate even the Citadel at 14,000 yards or so. Yeah, and that's going to put us over as well. Drop the rounds per gun slightly. We are shooting 16-inch and shooting slower. first. I've never seen that one. Prince Eugen. Surflinger. Gneisenau. Scharnhorst. Sister ship of the Gneisenau. Slinger. Scharnhorst. How about we have the Scharnhorst class? No, don't auto. Yes, yes, I do. Got everything we want. 8 16-inch guns at close range, 4 forward, 4 aft. 6 6-inch guns per side, dual purpose, autoloaders. Director fired, electrical optical director, 2 fire control positions, increased elevation, plenty of AA directors. We have everything we need, full torpedo defense, full size. Wait, can we save a little? Okay, 200 tons less. And there we go. Yes, I do. Then, what we're going to do is, that was the Scharnhorst. I'm going to make a sister ship. Okay, that's too many. Unless we do doubles, but I don't want to do that. Do we keep them as quads then? I mean, we did it with 16-inch. We delete the aft turret. Keep that one. Increase that one to quad. Or do we do it like a Queen Elizabeth class? Which gets us pretty close. There we go. Hate to decrease the rounds per gun that much. I feel like if you're going to do quads like that, better to have 3 triples. And then we can actually increase it back, leave it at 70, 80, 100. What can we do with the extra weight though? Oh, right. Can't go that fast. Just make a smaller 14-inch version. I want them to be fairly close to each other though. Just increase the armor. Feels like it's not a fair comparison. Well, if that's what gets us closest. I'm gonna go with that. That'll be the Gneisenau. Nine. Yes. Save. We'll build 2 of each of these. Designing them the most expensive way possible. Save and then move forward. France is dominating. Unfavorable weather. Strikes in Italy. Seedlitz is out. If they buckle, no common ground. Okay. Stop by the blockade. Ouch. Well, that's what happens when we do a lot. We could piss off Russia and get them into the war, which would reset our progress, which would be a great blow. Small engagement off of Libya. Let's do it. Small engagement. Here's a battleship. I know, it's just one battleship with a few screens. Don't make light of it. Radar contact at 4:35 in the afternoon. Sunset is at 15 minutes from now. Come up to full speed then. We'll leave our destroyers in a screening formation. Not that they're likely to stay close enough. Looks like a screen and an enemy battleship, if I had to guess. Wall of night. Alright, here we go. Secondaries hitting the battlecruiser. Zoomed battlecruiser now. That's a 14-inch hit. 14-inch hit. Their destroyers making an attack run. Getting peppered by light guns. Another 14-inch hit on the enemy battlecruiser. I have a feeling we're going to hit with at least one torpedo. 2 more hits on the battlecruiser. 2 more hits on the enemy battlecruiser. 9-inch battery chewing up the destroyers. Come back around. Another 14-inch hit. Oil any torpedo solutions. And pursue again. Drive by this destroyer. She didn't get cremated. I think there's some uncertainty on the target there. Oh, don't do that. That's unnecessary. I don't think our battleship's fast enough. I don't mean being pulled south since we're solidly in the range of any enemy air at Benghazi or dawn. However, this does pull us out of range of a lot of Italian mainland airfields. Chase them straight into port. Guessing those are corvettes and transports. Battlecruiser headed straight in. Take out whatever ship this is. Follow our torpedoes in on this one. That is actually a destroyer. Very dangerous situation then being that close, because a spread will hit. There's not much we can do to prevent that, but they did not launch against us, possibly because they couldn't identify us as a positive target. Getting hit by some sort of medium guns. Take out this destroyer as well. Presumed destroyer. Ooh, jeez. one torpedo for us. Flooding. About it. And then we will head away from Italian air at maximum speed. Looks like they might be hanging around rather than actually returning to port, but I am not going to stick around too long when they can just retreat at any moment. It looks bad. Did lose a few knots. Hey, another target. How does the Zeringen look? No further flooding. Controlled fairly quickly. A couple targets out here. Impetuoso. Come to port. Stay out of her torpedo arc. Then we will go ahead and pursue this other target. Zeringen hit by a torpedo, hit by another torpedo, another torpedo. Now she's hurting a little bit. Dropped in speed some more. That takes care of that one. Now we will drop to 10 knots and continue east. That should take care of that combat. D11 sinks from a mine, but we get 5 destroyers, 2 corvettes, and we actually chewed up that heavy cruiser, whatever it was. Italy still gets credited for the win on that one. Zeringen taking 4 torpedoes. Moderate flooding. The medium guns, not really concerning. The Cecilia, oh geez, we knocked her on her head. 7 heavy hits. Looks like 9-inch AP flash fire, 2 turrets burnt out. With a 14-inch belt penetration. Turret A hit. Another 2 flash fires took out their 4 turrets. Battle of Derna. And with that, I am about at the limit, right on the cusp. I want to call the episode here, though. We accomplished a few things, went a few months, from 46 to 49, so 3 months. We got our 2 ships in our design contest ready to go for the next BattleCruiser. 3 months for those to come out. Meantime, we'll get 1 more Lutzow. Oh, and I might forget, take a look at what ships we have in Northern Europe that need to go down south. They're all in the Mediterranean. Condor class is still stuck in Northern Europe. Let's move them to the Mediterranean. You see our ships are starting to get fire control radar. So awesome. Might actually take a look at this screen again, which I know I'm woefully inadequate at, like making use of sap, ammunition, and some of these other options that we have. Diving shells. Should we be using diving shells? Should we just focus on pummeling the enemy to death? Not using oxygen fuel torpedoes, since our capital ships do carry oxygen torpedo or carry torpedoes. Like, these two training priorities make less sense in an era where you have good search radar and starting to see fire control. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna change it. Thank you for staying to the end. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Like, I got the suggestion for the, you really should be using 16-inch guns, which I'm not sure I agree. This whole playthrough's been a little bit of an experiment in that regard, because normally I would have agreed. But I'm now designing a 16-inch and a 14-inch, and we're going to build both, and we're going to see how they turn out. And that was because of a viewer suggestion. From Magnus Maximus, or no, sorry, my apologies, Renee Morick made that comment. So thank you. I appreciate those comments. This is a collaborative effort. Yes, I'm the one controlling everything. Yes, I'm the Supreme Leader that makes all the decisions. But it's collaboration. You guys have a suggestion. Half the time, I'm going to be just as interested as you are. So with that, thank you so much, and you have a good day. Take care.